What's the update on Dr. K?
Oh, Dr. K, so she's same, she's having trouble with the husband. She feels like that, they had intimacy last week, and then everything exploded again. So she did something close and she had to separate.
Okay.
And she's like, I don't know why I do that. I don't want to do that. And she said, this is what and I said, okay, well, what was the fight? So she goes on and on about the fight. And I said, and how did you, she's like, well, I told him I didn't want to deal with it. And I literally ran to my room. I'm like, I didn't say it like, I didn't do that. I said, okay. And what did he say? Well, he called after me and said, I can't deal with you being like this. And she's like, but when he yelled at me, then I shut down even more because that's just, whatever. I said, okay. I said, so what do you feel like what do you feel like you want to do? She's like, I don't know. Said, so what do you feel like you want to do? She says, well, it's just so frustrating because, every time he wants to talk, oh, I know this is what I said. I said, because he said she always shuts down and runs away. She does.
What she does, right.
And
she recognizes. She recognizes the pattern of she has an intimate moment, then she does something to sabotage that intimacy by starting a fight or getting worked up about something that he did. It's really not a huge deal. Okay.
So I asked her, I said, so was there any, I said, is there any validity, in any of those things that he said to you when you heard them? Like, how did it make it? She's like, well, he is right. I do run away and blah, 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 blah. I said, okay. I said, okay. So I said, I remember we discussed before, even with Dr. Dabney, I know you've discussed it with her, how, when you had problems with your son and then there'd be fights and fights and fights and you just fight and never changed that and just allowed it to be fights. I said, how about now? I said, do you feel like you're doing the same thing now? And she's like, yeah. Or she's like, quiet, yes. And I said, so what do you feel like you could do maybe that might change that cycle? And she said, well, he won't talk to me. He won't talk to me. I said, have you tried? Because I don't, she's like, no, I'm too scared. I'm fearful he's going to reject me and yell at me and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. I said, in the past, what has happened when you did approach him? Nothing. Quietly. She said, nothing. I'm like, so I said, why are you allowing, I think I used this before. I was like, why are you allowing a future possibility that we don't know is even true to stop you right now from doing what you know has helped? Right? And then she's just quiet.
So the next step for her is to see that she is getting herself punished because she's saying that she talks to him, he's going to reject her, but she's doing all this acting out, which gets him to do all that stuff. So she is getting herself punished because at some level she feels she deserves being punished, probably because she has negative feelings about him or the so going from an intimate partnership thing, she's flipping to I'm going to be like a kid acting out and you're in punishment. So she does this, she gets them off the same level playing field, right? So then that gives them the distance that she needs. And gets her punished for whatever negative feelings she has about him, or what have you.
Oh, somebody's here.
Oh, yeah. What's your last name?
Frank.
Okay. If you want to have a seat in the little waiting room,
Yeah.
I will let Dr. Dabney.
Okay, it's like eerily quiet all the time. I PTSD.
Okay, not a problem.
So she loves the playing field, but and is done this whole I can't get close by talking to him. It's the closeness. You want to point out that she's afraid of the closeness, not all that stuff she's fantasizing about acting out.
And at one point she said, I think he wants to talk to you, me, without her around. And she goes, I don't know what he wants to say to you. I don't know if that's appropriate. I'm like, and I didn't answer her because I was like, I don't know can he call me?
He can call you, but you have to let him know right up front that you can't say anything and you're going to share the conversation with her.
So,
And I would say, I recommend you come in together if you're listening to 7. I will listen, but
that's pretty much all I can do.
yeah, that's all I can do.
That is all I can do.
I think chance we could make more progress if you came in and discussed this in front of her.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.